What's up, everybody, and welcome back to Unplayable, the Conversation Lab. We're back for another conversation about Star Wars Unlimited. I'm DHaus here with Jim, Jay, and Mike. Jim tried to ruin the intro, but we're going to allow him to stay on the recording. So, Jim, how was your week?
I just live to be a troll, so that's what I do. Week was great. Actually got to go play some locals.
Whoa. We're not there
Star
yet.
Wars Unlimited.
Hold on.
No. That just is... How's my week?
Just, how can you talk about your week and not mention that you went to locals?
Right.
Yeah, come on.
I guess I slept okay because that's what the people want to hear. No, get to the content.
Great. Okay, we're going to kick it off with a little Star Wars lore icebreaker because I know how much Jim loves this.
You don't care about our weeks?
His week is the only week that matters, Mike, not ours.
Well, he asked about my week. He knows I didn't know anything about this Star Wars lore, so he's going to let you guys tackle that.
Terribly.
No, let's talk about it.
That's good. Anyways, all right. So Star Wars icebreaker for this week. We just got a little preview of Tales of the Empire, which looks amazing, and it just got me thinking. I never thought I'd see some of the characters that they were showing in there, and it made me think.
So
about...
if you don't want spoilers, if you haven't seen the trailer and you're avoiding trailer, just skip the next 5 minutes.
Skip like 5 minutes.
Talk about it.
Well, I wasn't actually going to talk.
I'll try and put a timestamp in the. If we spoil anything, I'll put a timestamp to when it's okay for you to watch.
There you go. Okay, so they're all gone, right? All the spoiler-free people, all two of them. Cool. So anyways, we saw Morgan Elsbeth with Thrawn. We saw Barriss Offee, Vader showing up.
Very
Inquisitor Barriss. I mean, I didn't know I needed that storyline, but now I'm very excited about that.
Yeah, I'm very pumped.
Yeah, it's so cool that they're like expanding upon what we saw in like Mando and Ahsoka, and then like obviously Barriss Offee from Clone Wars. I think it's gonna be pretty sweet.
Yeah.
So
my actual question for you guys, and Mike doesn't even need to answer because I already know what he's going to say.
Ventress.
Yeah. But what non-Ventress Star Wars character needs more screen time in live action movie or show?
Live action.
Specifically interesting.
Not Ventress. You can't say Ventress because we all know.
But does it have to be a
That is my
cartoon
answer.
character, or could it be another like a character that's already been live action?
Yeah, it needs more screen time.
More?
My question was more screen time.
I know Jay's answer, I think.
Mace Windu.
Oh, no, okay. That is a great answer. I have an actual answer now that Jay reminded me of a character that was in live action, but not for nearly long enough.
Okay.
Who is it?
Zeb Aurelios.
Sure, yeah, absolutely.
He had about 3 seconds of screen time, and
he looked great.
He looked awesome. I'm going to need him in the next season of Star Wars Rebels. I mean, Ahsoka.
Exactly.
That's good.
Yeah, I would love to see a Mace comes back from the dead art. That would be sweet.
Yeah.
Like he could totally survive that fall. Come on.
For sure.
Yeah.
Definitely. I want to see Biggs and Wedge taking over the galaxy. Just two dudes, a lot of friendship, and the journey along the way. That's what I want to see.
Okay. So pre
Did you
episode
just like
4.
name 2 Star Wars characters that you knew?
I just don't even know what to do with it. Yeah, my answer I have 2 answers. One is obvious because I want Mr. Bones in real live action because they created this amazing murderous battle droid and they've never shown it. And it's like, this would be so fun to watch. The other one is, I was thinking about this. I want to see more of Kira and the Rise of Crimson Dawn.
Oh, for sure.
Like it feels like such a travesty that she didn't get more than just that one movie. And I've been reading some of the comic stuff about what Crimson Dawn did, and it's wild, man. Like there's some really cool storylines in there, and I would love to see that in live action.
Yeah, I definitely agree. The time period between what they showed in the comics there and the end of Solo, where you see Maul on the screen, is a mystery that I think would be really cool to see.
Yep. All right. How was your week in SWU, Jay?
It was good.
What'd you play?
I haven't gone to the locals since last week, unfortunately. Just been busy. My sister's in town and with my niece and all that kind of stuff. So we've been doing a lot of activities, like an escape room.
Nice.
But me and Mike play a lot playing webcam. I mean, we've probably played 30
I don't know,
to 40 games,
50 games
in the last
a
week.
lot.
At least 15 last 2 weeks. Just trying out all the different meta decks so that we have experience with them and know what's going on. Green Iden, Green Boba, Green Sabine, I played my Thrawn deck. For those who are in our Discord, they got to see some of that action. Big plug right there. Yeah, that's pretty much my experience in the last couple weeks playing Star Wars Unlimited. Just lots of meta stuff.
Big webcam guy.
Yeah,
Yep.
Jay's gotta prep for the big Florida tournament
right.
coming up. So
I love that he's done all this
reps.
prep just to bring Cassie into the tournament. So it's going to be crazy.
Yeah. IG88.
Yes, please.
Jim, how was your week? What'd you play? How'd you do?
I played
this week.
Well, I didn't go too deep, except I just said I played a locals. I played Command Palpatine, and that was a lot of fun. I did come up against 2 Sabines, which felt like auto loses, but I did get 1 win out of those 2, and I beat everything else. So it was good. But I still am trying to figure out if there's a puzzle to be solved with can Palpatine beat Sabine. I don't know if the answer is yes.
Yeah, Sabine's real fast. Palpatine
real fast.
Needs time to. Yeah, he needs time to get there.
And it's got all of the Sentinel and the Restore that you could ever think that you would need, and it just doesn't matter. So currently trying to think through, is 30 health pace for Palpatine more appropriate? Because once he gets to the late game, he wins the late game. So it's just, yeah, the whole dynamic of does ambushing in a unit actually save you the 5 health or not? The perpetual question around here.
Perpetual question.
Good. About you, Mike?
So aside from playing a metric ton of games against Jay, which have been very fun, we've been learning a ton about Star Wars Unlimited over all the games that we played. But I went to my first locals, my first like official OP locals, because it was the last Saturday of the month, and that is when they are hosted at that store, and it was a lot of fun. We had 7 people. So I mean, I live in a fairly small town, so that like is pretty good, and it was a great time. And it was kind of crazy. We got 3 OP packs as participation when we arrived.
So I meant to ask, have you opened your prize packs yet?
Yeah, I did. I opened everything. Yeah. So I went from having 0 OP packs to 3 OP packs when I arrived, which was sweet. And then played the tournament, and I came in first. So I won 4 more packs and went from 0 to 7 right away. And it was awesome. I love the OP cards. My favorite are obviously the hyperspace version of the starter deck cards. I like the like alt arts too, but I don't like the frame as much as I like the hyperspace frame. So I don't know, personal preference, I guess. And I played probably my favorite deck that you may have heard me talk about on the podcast before, which is Leia Blue.
Yeah.
It's a ton of fun.
Why is it fun, Mike? For those who didn't watch our secret video, that's in Discord.
If you do want to watch our secret video in Discord, just join the Discord. That's all you have to do. Yep. It's not hidden behind anything other than Discord.
Just come on.
But yeah, it's just I like playing cool units like Obi-Wan and Luke and Redemption and Home One and stuff like that. I think that's really fun. And Leia lets you also play an early game with cards like Battlefield Marine and Echo Base Defender and stuff like that. So you can, I mean, it is very mid-rangey. You can swing either aggro or control depending on the matchup. And it, you know, nothing feels better than at the end of the game using Leia's ability to hit your opponent for like 13, and it's just a good time.
Nice.
So
Battlefield Marine, real good, coach.
Yeah, Battlefield Marine is a great card.
Is Battlefield Marine the best green hero reason to play green hero? I mean,
probably.
Hot takes.
Yeah, probably.
I think Bright Hope will be, but right now I think it is.
Bright Hope's good too, but I think Battlefield Marine is just like the best way you can start most games.
Yep.
Like if more win played things come to the table, Bright Hope gets better and better.
Yeah, potentially. There's a couple like fun interactions in that deck. Like I have Alliance Dispatcher in there, which like maybe seems a little weird, but I have the shield base, so I can like sort of pretend to be Luke on turn 1 and shield it if I think my opponent's going to take it out. And then on turn 2, you can Alliance Dispatcher in an escort skiff and, you know, bring that in a turn early, hit whatever your opponent played on their first turn and sort of get ahead there, which is really fun. And you can also use it to like play Bright Hope on turn 2 and then bounce it self and draw a card. So if you're in a control like matchup, that's like kind of a fun play to do. I don't know. It's a fun deck. Lots of cool lines. It doesn't beat everything. No deck beats everything except, I don't know, maybe there might be a couple that get close, but it's a lot of fun. I might do a deck tech on it just because I love it so much.
Nice.
Love it.
Nice.
Do you guys want to know how my week was?
No.
Let's hear it.
How'd you sleep?
Let's hear it. if we have to.
Yeah, I actually had a cold earlier this week, Jim, so I didn't sleep great, but
Here we go.
you know,
I'm sorry to hear that.
humidifiers and NyQuil are helpful. Anyways, my week. Okay, so it started with somebody wake Jay up. So it started with running a ton of Chewbacca games against both of you guys, but eventually turned toward a different blue hero in the form of the one with the Force, Chirrut, and ran Chirrut Red for a local tournament. Managed to go through.
Was the Force with you?
All except for the very first game.
Okay.
But I did go 3-1 out of 13 people. Ended up tied for second, but ended up in fourth. So instead of 4 packs, I got 1 pack. It was sad.
Oh no.
R.I.P.
Oh man.
Yeah. But a couple funny moments from that I was like, oh, I do really love Chirrut. Is Chirrut with a Jedi lightsaber completely nukes Vader. Like if Vader comes out and Chirrut has a so there was a stalemate. I was playing against the Vader deck. He's like, I don't know. I just kept Chirrut. Yeah, ready. I was like, the second I flip Vader, which is pretty wild. Against Han was hemorrhaging his hand, and I got Chirrut out, and he did the thing where he goes to 6 resources, and then I did a force throw to throw the last card out of his hand.
That's dirty.
And he was like, oh, and I was like, oh, Chirrut, you dog. So there were a couple of moments I'm like, I really love this. Came back, I was losing 20-0 against the Boba Green deck, and came back to win. That was
Wow, nice.
That was a nail biter. So anyways, I really did enjoy it. I'll probably keep playing more Chirrut because, yeah, he's not the typical one that people are reaching. Although it feels like a lot of people are picking up Chirrut recently. So
Yeah.
It still sounds right up your alley.
That's what you
for
said.
a deck. Yeah.
You may have convinced
Number
me to
one,
play it.
Yeah, you get to Voltron your Chirrut. Number 2, it's a little under the radar. Number 3, it's Chirrut.
All fair.
Enough said.
All fair. I did win the game against Boba because I had 2 Jedi lightsabers and 4 experience on Chirrut to close it out.
That's a big Chirrut.
Yeah. So anyways, it was fun.
Leaders are very hard to take care of, so I like the idea of playing a leader that is even more difficult to take care of because he doesn't die at the end of the round, and then also being able to just Voltron that guy.
Yep.
Feels real good.
And with it binds to be able to, you can throw a bunch of damage and then I'll throw it right back at you. It just feels so good.
Yep.
I love that.
It's really cool.
So yeah, besides that, I had my normal Thursday swoo lunch with my coworkers, and we played some Twin Suns.
Oh, nice.
That was super fun. But the one thing I've learned about playing Twin Suns with my coworkers, because I taught most of them how to play, they all just kill me immediately. We start and they just kill me, and I'm always the first one out. I don't have enough. What do they call that in Survivor, Jim? Social game.
Yeah, social game.
Social game.
Yeah.
Political.
Yeah,
game.
I need to up my social
Play the
game
politics.
to survive.
Well, if you ever want to watch some earlier seasons, you can learn all about that. So.
Yeah.
Jim somehow convinced my wife that Survivor was a great show. So guess how much Survivor I have to watch now?
It is.
There's 87 million seasons of this show.
And your life has probably never been better. You're welcome.
Is this where we talk about how Jim auditioned for Survivor recently?
If anybody has any connections at CBS, please help get our boy Jim on Survivor.
It's disheartening every week when Jeff comes on there and is like, please apply for the show. I'm like, call me, Jeff, please.
Imagine how many more people would play Star Wars Unlimited if Jim got onto Survivor.
Yeah.
I think Mike's locals would be up to 12.
There you go.
That would be
great.
amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, make it happen.
All right. We got some news this week, guys. Can you believe it? Mike and Jay tackled it with a nice little video, but we got some Set 2 news. And Jim, I haven't heard anything from you as far as your reactions to getting Set 2.
It's because Jim doesn't know any of the characters.
Yeah. It was irresistible, and that's all that needs to be said. So
Have you I want to know, have you watched The Mandalorian?
most of it. Yeah.
Okay.
This guy. Most of it.
Most of
What
the
does
first
that mean?
episode.
Multiple seasons.
Okay.
All right.
All right,
Sure.
fair.
And then I tried to watch a season, and then it was told, oh, you have to watch all of Book of Boba Fett to understand what's going on. And so then I slogged through that, and then all right, now we're back, and yeah, we trucking through.
Wow. Look at our boy.
Yeah.
Proud of you.
I'm impressed.
Proud of
yeah.
you.
I know.
Good job.
Still haven't seen Biggs and Wedge in there, and I'm like, where are you guys? I don't understand.
Pretty sure Biggs is
Yeah,
dead.
Biggs is in the ground. Or more like space dust.
Here's the deal. If Mace can have survived that fall, why can't Biggs survive?
Wow. There is a chance Wedge could show up. Wedge is still alive at this point, so, Jim, so Shadows of the Galaxy, we got Set 2, and
Definitely.
we got some cards, we got some mechanics. Give me your just quick from the hip. reactions to what we got.
I'm excited to see upgrades take a more prominent role. I think that's going to be really cool, especially with bounties are upgrades, correct?
Yeah.
Just want to be.
Yeah.
I think that'll be sweet. Just the fact that like Mandalorian can come in, he can do some really cool things with upgrades. I'm very excited to see if there's more of those type of synergies in this set, if that's like one of the like main pieces. I like what's going on with Gideon. That 3-cost Sentinel is going to be sick, and I want to put that immediately into my command Palpatine deck. Oh yeah.
All right, so
yeah, they're pretty sweet.
So the one reason that you guys will be really happy, you will be very proud of me right now. Just like we were just proud of Jim, you'll be proud of me. But there was one video game I played a lot as a kid, and that is Dark Forces on my computer. And there were these Dark Troopers in Dark Forces, and I never thought I'd see them in a card game. So there's my video game knowledge of the day.
Wow. What's Dark Forces?
It's a video game. Did you guys not play
Before
that?
your time.
I feel like that was a big one.
I have it.
I actually didn't play that one either. I played Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic. That was my big Star Wars. And Star Wars Pod Racer. Those are the two.
Pod Racer.
The two favorites when I was a kid.
On the N64. And then they also had like
and on computer.
They had a coin version, like a video game cabinet. Dude, that game was awesome.
That was awesome.
All right, knock that off. So you like the
opened
green.
The door and y'all
There's
ran
no
in.
way you didn't play Star Wars Pod Racer.
Everyone played Pod Racing.
I honestly do not remember ever playing that.
I played Pod Racing.
I did play Super Smash Brothers like a normal adolescent boy.
Yeah.
But I think that was.
Who's your favorite Star Wars character in Smash?
Was Kirby in Star Wars? He could have been.
Yeah, I'm pretty
He's
sure.
very alien.
Did you play Dark Forces 2 though?
I don't know. I don't remember. All right, but this is not a Star Wars video game podcast. This is Star Wars Unlimited.
Thank God.
Oh, sorry, I thought it was.
All right, so you like the Phase 3 Dark Trooper. You didn't have any reaction to our boy Grogu?
Initially, I was like, okay, I want to make Voltron Grogu because 5 health on turn 1 sounds awesome. But then I'm like, well, do you actually want to do that? Because he's cool because you put out a big unit and then I just like exhaust it, and that's sweet. And so you actually don't want to necessarily buff Grogu to the moon. So I like it. I think it's got some really good value. I like that you don't have to hold an event in hand to exhaust something. You just keep it on the board. Like even Leia, the starter card that has the on play ability for that, feels awesome, but it's still like you only get it once. And so that just always being out there is sweet.
Yeah. I think you guys mentioned this in the video, but Grogu having the force tag is awesome.
Definitely relevant.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Now that I'm doing force throw and binds like with Chirrut, I'm realizing like, man, having the force tag just on the board whenever you need it.
Yeah. There's going to be some red, yellow, like force throw plus Spark of Rebellion plus just like there's going to be a discard deck at some point.
Yeah.
For as much as people want to play Guardian of the Wills just because it's a turn 1 force card, like Grogu fits that so much more cleanly, in my opinion.
Well, in Guardian, the worst thing about Guardian is that it has 2 health for super laser tech to ambush into and kill it the next round.
Yeah, 5 health is a lot more.
Yeah.
And Grogu doesn't even kill super laser
he doesn't
tech.
kill the super laser tech back.
Joke's on you.
That's really funny.
That's amazing. I got really excited looking at these cards. Yeah, I loved Razor Crest. Like got
Razor
me super
Crest
excited.
I'm pretty pumped about.
Yeah,
I like that
4
card
cost, 3/4 with restore 2, being able to return an upgrade from your discard pile to your hand. Like there's just you guys mentioned the video. We don't need to revisit all the things, but I did think I was like, okay, how do I get this in a wedge deck?
Oh my god, here we go.
We're back to wedge. There's a lot of wedge in this episode.
I'm my kind of guy.
No bigs yet. But
I hadn't thought about this when we recorded the video. We haven't talked about this card yet, but Gideon's Light Cruiser, like there's so many different options of things that you can pull from your discard pile.
I love that card.
One cool play that I was thinking of afterwards was you can sneak attack in the Gideon's Light Cruiser so that it enters play ready, and then you could bring back from your discard pile Snow Trooper Lieutenant and hit your opponent for what, 10?
A lot.
Is it an 8/7?
it's a 7/8.
Is that what it is? A 7/8 for 9.
So how much would that cost? So what does sneak attack does?
It would cost you 7 because sneak attack makes it cost 1 less.
Yeah,
but you know,
and
you got
plays the Snow
Fortuna
Trooper
out,
for
you
free.
got Jabba out. Now you can do it on turn 6 or on 6 resources.
Yeah,
6 resources hit your opponent in the face for 9.
Wow.
Looking at
Easy.
you, K2SO, we have a
Easy
villain
game.
card now.
Easy
Game even.
game.
And you still keep a 2/2 on the board.
Oh yeah, your giant ship dies at the end of the turn, but
Yeah.
you dealt 9. You're happy.
Yeah. No, that,
I don't know. Fun plays like that.
and then you
cool.
you have Mahdi on the ground side, die.
to ready it?
And then ready
Yes.
it.
Easy.
Yeah.
Nailed it.
Okay,
Nailed it.
here we go. OTK decks incoming. Prepare.
Nailed it. You could do all of that in Grand Inquisitor. You can do all of that in red, yellow Grand Inquisitor, I think, right? Because
but-
you get all you need would be sneak attack and Mahdi, and
You
can
have
kill
to
Mahdi
control
with Grand
Moff
Inquisitor.
Gideon to do the ability.
Oh,
Yeah.
right.
On Gideon.
The other cool thing,
Never
though,
mind.
is you could just, instead of bringing
That's
back
true.
the lieutenant, just bring in Mahdi. So you don't have to have it on the board. You just like sneak attack, play the ship,
Bring in Mahdi.
play Mahdi from discard.
and then ready it with Grand.
kill it,
So
ready it.
so it's a way to keep it around and have it ready for a turn. That's super fun too.
There we go.
I just like cards. I mean, recursion is always just like a little bit busted sometimes. It's on a very expensive card, so it's not
Yeah.
going to be easy to pull off, and you need Gideon in play to get that impact. But just yeah, I don't know. That card excites me because there's like cool combo-y stuff that you can do with it.
Yeah, I'm pulling up a tweet from Tyler Parrott, designer of the game. He tweeted about Restock today, which is the one cost neutral card that you've never played. You've always tossed it aside. But Restock says choose up to 4 cards in a discard pile, put them at the bottom of their owner's deck in random order. And he said, when we designed the colorless cards, we wanted to hit certain goals, make colorless units to reward certain traits, serve as late draft picks, and provide metagame answers to problematic play patterns. Anti-recursion is one we targeted for future proofing. So as you were saying
Makes
that,
sense.
like recursion gets really out of control, I was like, oh, Tyler just tweeted about that today.
It's an interesting example for that card because it's both anti-recursion and it's also sort of a form of recursion in and of itself. If you can return your cards from your discard pile back into your deck.
True.
Helps against mill. Like that was a really well designed card to kind of protect against all of those like
It's a draft
negative play
card
experiences.
when you're playing control versus control, and you go to no cards, and you need to have some cards in your deck.
Other reactions to the news, I thought seeing a yellow hero that isn't Han was nice. Because I feel like yellow hero is sort of like in a weird spot where you have to have like a very specific style with Han, and Jin is just Jin. Although we did get a shout out for our deck list in a random Discord. I was like, that's hilarious for the one that Mike and I built on this podcast. Gamboj, Dooney, Sparrowhawk. But yeah, Mandalorian seems good.
Yeah, he seems really cool.
I mean, uncapped, like, don't need an exhaust ability. It's just like every time you play an upgrade, you get to do this. Seems real good.
Yeah. And it literally, the first thing that came to mind is like, okay, we've made a big deal about shields and experience being upgrades, but you don't play those. Like, that's not something you're adding. So just for the newer players, like, that's not how that's going to work. Because I still find that people are getting really confused about the shield and experience thing right now.
Yeah.
Sure.
But
it specifically says play. So if you play a card that says like give an experience, it's not playing an experience, it's giving an experience.
Yeah.
But for set 2, I just want to see more undefeated abilities for my out of aspect heroic sacrifice plays. So that's what I'm hoping for.
Did you guys cover the Mandalorian unit card? Did you record before that?
No,
we didn't.
Okay, let's talk
so
about
we can
it.
do that
We
now.
recorded before that card.
All right, we got a legendary, the Mandalorian round unit. It costs 6. It's blue hero, and it's a 5/6 Mandalorian bounty hunter with Sentinel. And it says, when played, you may heal all damage from a unit that costs 2 or less and give 2 shield tokens to it.
It's very interesting already seeing kind of a mirror to a card that already exists, like a 6-cost Sentinel with similar stats. That's basically Obi-Wan. And I think they talked about it in the live stream, how it's like the same idea, same principle where they're protecting something, and then one does on play protect it more, whereas Obi-Wan is like on death protect it more, but kind of similar ideas. If you're not playing a lot of 2 costs, it feels like bad to play Mando. Like if you don't have a 2 cost on the field, you're not getting a win played ability, which seems bad. So I'm not sure how I feel about it.
I see that.
Even as like a 5/6 Sentinel though, that's doing some work.
Sure. Yeah.
So I mean, because like that 5 attack, like that kills Sabine if it tries to attack into you, which is great. The leader.
You're dead by then.
Oh, probably. But blue hero has some restore abilities, so I would imagine there's probably some that tries to like get you to that stage of the game.
If there's like a Mandalorian trait matters, then maybe he's better than Obi-Wan in that deck, but we have so much more force trait matters. So it's like Obi-Wan already feels better because if you don't have a 2-cost on field, then just play Obi-Wan, and then he's the Force, so you can do crazy things with him, and it binds or the Force is with me, etc.
I'm trying to think of like the cards that I want to keep protected though. Like
Yeah, what are the best
maybe?
2 costs that you could?
Grogu, obviously.
Yeah,
I mean, Grogu, sure.
Yeah, Grogu is what they want you to do for sure.
Yeah.
But like, I'm thinking of like cards with like those static abilities, like you, Lauren, like Piet, but Piet's obviously villain. Yeah, I don't know. Because the healing, I don't think it's going to come into play nearly as much as the other piece, unless you want Guardian of the Wills.
I was going to say Voltron Guardian of the Wills. You put a bunch of upgrades on it, it still costs 2.
I mean, it sounds like a really good way to just get whatever you play. Whatever your best 2-drop is, just gets Traitorist, and then you're
Traitorist, yeah. Waylay.
Yeah.
Waylay's real.
Yeah, I like it.
It's like just comparing the two. Obi-Wan can at least give his experience to your leader, so it can't be like waylaid or traitorous. Whereas the 2 shields that Mando gives has to be on a 2-cost, so it'll never be on a leader, which feels bad.
Yeah.
I'm not saying he's bad. I mean, he's a legendary for a reason. Obi-Wan's just a rare.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know. We'll see with the rest of the set. If they drop like 20 more 2-drops that are like
that are
1/6.
Like
Instant power creep in this game.
Awesome. How do you feel about these bounties? Because I remember in Destiny, like the bounties and downgrades, I don't remember. I think by that point I was kind of phasing out a little bit, but I just remember being really underwhelmed.
I definitely was phasing out. But yeah, well, the comparison to it in Destiny is Destiny characters didn't die nearly as frequently as units do in Star Wars Unlimited.
Right.
Yeah.
So it's like you can't really compare the two.
Okay.
Especially if you're playing against like a two unit or 2 what were they called? Leaders in that? Were they called leaders in that game too?
Characters?
Yeah, 2 character deck where it's like they are only going to die twice, and the second time that one dies you win the game. So it's like you only get to bounty 1 character. So I think it'll be a lot more interesting in this game than it was in Destiny.
Okay.
Yeah, I agree. Though one thing I still like don't love in general is just like playing my cards on my opponent's side of the board. But that
I mean, to do webcam games that way.
Yeah, definitely.
I love how the first webcam games you guys posted, you were playing Traitorous, Mike. I'm like
I was playing Traitorous, and then the next ones, Jay was playing Entrenched. So at a certain point, it's just like, I'd have all the units that were in his deck off to the side so I could play it as the Traitorous unit.
Funny.
But yeah, that's definitely going to be a consideration for webcam games.
Yeah.
I feel like when I've seen mechanics like this in games, though, it feels like it either just doesn't do enough or it's way too overpowered. And I haven't seen it really well balanced. So I'm hopeful that they have found the secret sauce to do
the one
well.
that they've previewed seems not overpowered, and it seems useful. Like it costs 0, so that's like
wanted.
Like it costs 0, so that's good. And when you get the bounty, you get to ready 2 resources, which is going to be useful a lot of the time. It also I think has like some counterplay too, because if your opponent can like trade their unit into yours before you've exhausted any resources, then
you wasted a card.
Yeah
I do like that card advantage isn't as important in this game. So like spending a card to play the bounty doesn't feel like, okay, I just use my entire turn just to play a 0-cost bounty.
Sure.
So I definitely like that. And I think especially those decks that you're trying to like max out at 5 or 6 resources anyway, you just draw 2 cards and play them and you're fine with that. So could get cool.
For sure.
Yeah. I'm curious to see what other kind of bounty ideas that they come up with.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
And if we see them in other colors than yellow, because yellow, it feels like a very yellow thing to
Definitely.
do.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm curious if we get like a blue or a red bounty, or if it's just going to be yellow cards.
Yeah, that's interesting. I mean, because like aggression makes sense for like, okay, bounty deal damage to like
we've got IG-88
like
as a bounty hunter in red, so I feel like we got red for sure.
IG meta incoming. They
exactly.
I do
bounty
feel like
synergy.
on the stream they were like oh, we got villain swarm decks are coming in and set 2. I'm like, y'all are pushing IG-88 so hard. Like, just let them die.
What color is the Mandalorian deck? Is it the Mandalorian starter deck?
It's
Have they announced
yellow
that yet?
and red, I believe.
Wait, the Mando starter deck is yellow blue.
Yeah, they both
blue.
have blue. That's interesting.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
that's
green,
what I was
blue,
like,
yellow, blue.
Red's in there.
Yeah, that is interesting. Green. I assumed red because red wouldn't be represented otherwise, but I guess red's just not represented, and they both.
Because I was wondering like if bounties are like in every color, like if there's specific ideas that they float around. Because I know like the Mandalorian rifle, it talks about the idea of capturing. Yes, thank you. I was trying to remember that keyword. I'm curious, maybe like that's a blue kind of concept, or like anything kind of Mandalorian related is going to be just strictly yellow. I don't know. It'll be interesting.
Yeah,
that
I mean,
one's just a heroic card.
Yeah, that card's just heroic. So,
but
I feel like that card like may as well.
Awesome.
I feel like the reason that card is heroic is because it is obviously meant to be on Mandalorian, and that means that no matter what Mandalorian deck you're playing, and what like in the future if they do like a red Mando or like a blue Mando, I mean they have the blue like legendary Mandalorian, being able to put that card on literally any Mandalorian in the game, whether you're playing the leader or not.
Sure,
makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, 3 cost for just a 3 attack upgrade does not feel great unless you're just playing Mandalorian.
No, for sure.
A lot of people have pointed out that it's interesting they named him the Mandalorian instead of Din Djarin. What do you think about that?
I don't have an opinion. I don't know.
Or like,
doesn't affect me.
Grogu instead of the child.
Neither of those bother me at all.
Yeah.
I do think that
me
the
that
subtitle could have been the child.
Also,
it should have been Grogu the baby. It should have been Grogu the baby.
The baby. I'm already thinking Chirrut. I want capture to be pretty prominent and Chirrut to be able to capture everything because he just doesn't die. So he just gets his little army.
Yes.
So, David, please make it happen.
The funny thing is, capture almost goes against like because Chirrut runs upgrades and things. So the capture. It almost makes it so okay. I cannot put a Jedi lightsaber on non-hero. Like I can't put a Jedi lightsaber on Yoda because then it's like captured. Then I capture this and now I've lost my Jedi lightsaber and Yoda.
Yeah.
So but you can't capture leaders. So
right. How did they talk about it on stream with like upgrades on things that you capture? Like when the units come back,
they go away. They get discarded.
Okay.
And then people have pointed this out, but like Mandalorian never leaves play, so. If you capture something with the Mandalorian, it just stays under him even when he dies. Accurate. It's not?
No.
So what happens?
You get your unit back. If a leader leaves play, if a leader is defeated, the captured units go back. That was clarified by Tyler.
Okay, good. So it is weird wording though, right? Like it says when this unit leaves play, but technically they never leave play, so they don't trigger Boba Fett.
That's just a reminder text. So I would I would wait for the official rules. I mean, it's been clarified, but yeah, like the official capture rules will probably specify what happens if a leader captures a unit.
Got it. That's why I brought it up. Also, not Baby Yoda, but also formerly known as Baby Yoda, Grogu has 4 fingers in the picture.
Yeah.
Just go ahead and lay down on the table and mute myself. That doesn't bother me at all.
No,
I think
whatever. I never would have noticed unless other people pointed it out, and now that people have pointed it out, I still don't care.
Yeah,
100%. It's like whatever.
Do you care about Mace's? I was gonna say, do you care about Mace's lightsaber?
That's a little different, but like
slightly more. It doesn't like ruin the game for me in any way.
Yeah.
It's not on FFG, I don't think. It's more on whoever the artist is. Like the artist should do the research to see these things. And it's not FFG's fault. They're not going to go through and check all of that stuff.
Just make sure every single character has the correct number of fingers.
Yeah.
Hey, FFG, hire me to be the finger counter, please.
The lightsaber inspector.
Could you imagine getting credit for the game as the finger counter?
I mean, they have to have interns for stuff like that. I mean, come on.
For counting fingers.
Yeah. Like your intern task
they got Gabe the intern over there counting fingers.
Oh god.
All right, go through all 262 pieces of art. Make sure that all the fingers are the correct number, please.
2 ears, 1 nose, unless it's an alien that has more ears, That's the thing, is like there's not a standard amount. Like you really do have to be like, oh, is this correct for that species?
I never would have known.
I wouldn't either.
But now I can't unsee it. I'm looking at the artwork as we speak.
All right. Any other reactions to set 2 stuff?
I'm pumped. I'm very excited.
July
it's all
12th,
about bounty hunters.
right?
So does that mean that I'm going to get a bounty hunter Ventress in this set? Please.
Ooh.
Please
that'd be
make
spicy.
it happen.
That'd be amazing.
That'd be
Fingers
spicy.
crossed.
Like,
I'm excited that July is when it's coming out, though. It feels appropriately spaced for me to fully enjoy this first set and get accustomed to it.
Yeah, I'm a huge fan of the 3 sets per year cadence versus the 4 set per year cadence. It is going to make my bank account much happier.
That's why we do it.
Yeah, if I'm going to collect a master set of set 2 also, I don't want to do it like a 4th time in a year.
It's like a full-time job, man.
Quite expensive.
Yeah, I like July 12th. I feel the only weird thing about that was if it releases July 12th, then pre-releases would be July 4th weekend. Like if it's the same
classic.
Which, like, I'm not going anywhere. I'd probably, but I'm like, that could be something. I also think it's interesting, July 12th, and then Gen Con is that first week of August. So it gives you a few weeks to like collect and fill your decks, and then maybe hopefully at Gen Con we have some kind of fun.
I want to just draft at Gen Con. That's what I want to do. I think that'd be a lot of fun.
Yeah. We also have Store Championships coming out next month.
Store Showdowns
for those who are practicing, getting ready. Get those Mace Windows.
Yeah.
Yes, please.
I actually just ordered 2 singles of Mace Windu because I didn't pull any, and at one point I was like, I might actually put this in a deck, and then I swerved to Chirrut, and I don't want Mace anymore. And so now I'm like, great, I'm going to end up with, or hopefully end up with some
a million Mace Windows.
Yeah.
But I guess any of my extras I can just sell to Jay, I'm sure.
I was gonna say he'd pay double.
I'm not buying them. I'm getting like 8 of my own minimum.
I just want to see all of your board games behind you just like covered in maces. Like that would be
There you go.
It'll be blurry, but
an uncut sheet of Mace Windu for Jay.
Just a champion one, so
that's right.
Not
if you're gonna win 8 million Mace Windus, you got to win at least one of them with Mace Windu.
Yeah, sure. I'm down with that.
Sure.
Sideboard.
Hey, works great.
Just one copy in the sideboard that you never bring in.
Yep. Doesn't matter if I'm playing villain. It's in there.
All right. Well, I think that'll do it for us today. Unless you guys had any burning final thoughts, this is your moment.
Nope.
All right, guys.
I was trying to think of some kind of pun. It's like some kind of burning thought, but
love puns.
I lost it.
Well,
I'm not quick enough today.
Think about it for next time, Mike.
I will.
All right. Maybe we'll introduce a dad joke segment. Like a Star Wars dad joke. It'd be great. All right, guys. Let's close this out. Thanks for watching, guys. And we'll see you in the next one.
Bye, guys.
Bye.